many. Kristen Braden, thank you. Better or worse than Hulk Hogan? I just watched that video today, and it sent me down a pipeline of learning about how horrifying the wrestling industry is. Oh, no. Hulk Hogan? I watched a video about how he's crazy. Did you guys know Hulk Hogan is crazy? Did you know Hulk Hogan, like, single-handedly took down the WWE or whatever? He, like, destroyed their reputation because I guess he got put in a level of creative control and he kept abusing it to make it so he always won every single fight. And I guess would use his creative power to try and, like, humiliate other people as well that he just didn't like. WCW, not WWE. Okay. WCW. Sorry, my bad. He also thinks he has the past. You know what's so funny is this all happened in like 2016 that he said the N-word a bunch and talked smack about black people, and a bunch of celebrities like came out and defended him and were like, oh no, you know, if everybody who said the N-word got canned, then we'd all be out of the job. And it's just so funny how different the culture is now. How different the reception would be right now. Just a few years later. Well, I guess like 10 years later, but wow. Yeah. And then I went down is his name Vince McMahon? Vince? The guy who ran wrestling, basically, who took over wrestling from his... there was like a wrestling mafia where wrestling was relegated to like specific areas, and those specific areas had different rules and licensing rights and stuff, and he made wrestling popular basically through selling VHS tapes to publications, and basically became Mr. Worldwide for wrestling. And then, how do I say this? He had like an incest fetish and a humiliation fetish, and he had one of his wrestlers have this storyline where the wrestler's girlfriend dies at a car accident, and then at the open casket, Vince writes that the wrestler would get into the casket and defile the corpse sexually, and he would like use his daughter for stuff and like kissed her on the mouth, and turned his wife into a cuckold as like a plot line in the story. And Louise the GM, thank you. Pippa's the cutest bunny girl, thank you. And then he like, then it gets like, you're watching all this and you're like, wow, this is fucking insane. But you know, it is all fiction, so, you know, can I, like, do I necessarily want to watch this content? No, but can I fault a man for the hustle of primetime television grinding? Not really. You know, I appreciate the commitment to the art, I guess, that all of you guys were willing to get in on that and shit. You know, whatever. It's fiction. It's for television. Who cares? And then you learn about how he sent one of his female wrestlers across seas to Kuwait to do like a military endorsement, and one of the doctors over there raped her, and he covered it up and was like, you know, if you tell anybody about this, I'm gonna have to fire you, right? And then she killed herself. And you're like, oh. Yeah, he's a really bad person. Okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, that escalated. Yeah, it escalates from, you know what, like, this is deranged, but it's just for television to, oh, human trafficking. Shit. What a bad guy. He covered up murder too? Oh my god. Yeah, there was another instance where somebody died during a wrestling match, and he announces it. He's like, I have the regretful obligation to inform you that this guy died. And then he just continues the match. He just continues the fucking television show. Holy shit! What? You don't have enough respect for this guy that you worked with to stop and hold ceremony for him or anything? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's insane. It was a pay-per-view, no? Does that matter? If it's pay-per-view, then you spend the rest of the show having the fucking wrestlers talk about Owen Hart's life, the man who died. It's what the dead guy probably would have wanted. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. What a bizarre industry. What an absolutely bizarre industry. This year, I think Pippa, my wrestler, just died. Let's go! Dude literally turned himself into a villain for TV ratings. I mean, it's one thing to turn yourself into a villain for TV ratings if it, like, stays fictional. But he was actually evil. King Elcidian, thank you. They literally wrestled with Owen's blood stain. Horrible. Horrible. Kayfabe too hard. Man. Vince was actually fucking insane, but genuinely, as much as it's crazy to think unironically Owen would have most likely told them to continue the show because the fans need to be entertained, doesn't matter! Jill, thank you. All that considered, Attitude Era was still peak. Dan Fred, thank you. Wrestling Deep Dive stream win. Oh, man. Maybe at some point. Anyways. So let's get on to the actual topic of today's stream.